It is Sunday, July 4th, 2021. That sounds so weird, I swear to God. 1986, we were reading I guess I was in 8th grade or something like that, or no, 6th grade. And we were reading phonics. If you subscribe to this phonics thing or whatever, they had a newsletter, and we'd read it in class as, also as a way to start priming kids to care about things other than themselves in the world. One of the things that they said was by I think it was like 2008, like over half the jobs in the world would be temporary, which is totally fucking true, because unions are terrible. They have good intentions, but they usually end up in hell. And what was it? Another word for temporary is contract. And what's great about being a contract worker is you get paid like way more. So I had a bunch of contract jobs for AT&T, and they actually had a position open up, and I got a little miffed that they didn't offer it to me. And they said, well, we didn't think you'd want to take a pay cut. I was like, what do you mean? And they said, well, it only pays $25 an hour. And right now we're paying you, I think it was like with per diem, it was like 10 grand a month. I was like, okay, yeah, fuck you guys. So I was like, I'll keep being a contractor. So, but the great thing about being paid in per diem, you're not getting paid. The per diem is meant as to pay for your hotel and your living expenses, but that money is not taxed. So if you can figure out a way to save money every month, like I did by staying in a shitty hotel, then it works out great for you. So, but today's Sunday sermon is brought to you by Chigarex. It's got 2 times the power than, I don't know, some competing benzocaine ointments. So Sherry's got shingles, which is terrible. It's not contagious, despite what old people think. It's just one of those things that's like, it's a derivative of chickenpox. And it can be within you, and it doesn't even flare up until I guess it wants. Sometimes it's usually like triggered by stress, which is, Sherry's been going through a lot of stress with the recovery from COVID and just health in general. And then all of a sudden she gets this, and it just sucks. We thought it was a kidney stone because it was right on her back near her kidney. And I figured out actually a great, really therapy for that. I put my mouth on that area, and then I would hum like very loudly so that it would vibrate her, and she really liked that. And I actually have a whole therapy meditation thing about with sound and vibration, but that's for another video when I'm talking about all my inventions that what's funny is I have a ton of inventions, but on their own they seem almost ridiculous, and with no legs, like you might be able to sell it like through like QVC or some sort of infomercial at night. But the problem is those are very expensive to produce and distribute, the advertising. And so what I'm going to do is a lot of the inventions I have, you mix in or add as part of the formula when you sell the screenplay. And so that when not only do they buy the screenplay, but then they buy the business that you've introduced into it as well. So, but we'll talk more about that later. A couple of things I wanted to talk on, real brief for news. What was it? The CDC warns that you should not swim while having diarrhea. Common sense prevails on that one. You really shouldn't do anything while you have diarrhea. So that's my advice. Again, we were talking the other day about, there's a bunch of movies that they don't seem like much on the surface, but they really kind of changed my life. And the problem is a lot of young people have not seen those movies and have not experienced those things. One of them was Scarlet Letter, which is Demi Moore. First of all, people don't even know who fucking Demi Moore is, or realize how popular she once was as a movie star. And the Scarlet Letter is great. She's way too hot to be the Scarlet Letter lady, but that kind of makes it, good. And who else is in it? Robert Duvall and one of my favorite, Gary Oldman. So, and Gary Oldman, of course, again, brilliant. He's fucking amazing. I'd love to work with him. But yeah, check that out, Scarlet Letter. But speaking of movies, Chris Pratt has a new movie that Amazon is promoting the shit out of. It's called The Tomorrow War. Critics have called it the Starship Troopers for Dummies. and also called Garbage Pizza. A couple of my friends had promoted it on Facebook, and I told them the quotes that I had heard, and they said, no, it's pretty good. I said, well, it better have some boobs in it. Negative, no boobs. So the Starship Troopers at least had boobs, which I thought was great. The other problem with Chris Pratt is that he looks like a normal human being. He's not unique looking, and so now you have just like a regular dude leading a bunch of other regular dudes. So it's, he does great in the other one, Guardians of the Galaxy, but of course, many of the other supporting characters really steal the show on that one. So, but Chris is mostly just being a version of himself, which is goofy and fun. But other news, Geraldo Rivera applauds Cosby's release, but then warns about Harvey Weinstein, which is crazy. So you got to remember that Cosby's release is due to a promise made by prosecutors not to prosecute him for his truthy statements about acquiring Quaaludes and all the other stuff. It's wrong to convict someone in the press, but stay away from these people. I was really disgusted back in the 90s when Timothy McVeigh was perp walked through the crowd and people were chanting, "Kill him, kill him." He had already admitted that he wanted to be, he wanted to die for his cause. And it's like, this is really ugly. We don't need to see people yelling, "Kill him, kill him." He's innocent until proven guilty. Let's all, put on this facade for a minute. So as far as everybody's concerned, Bill Cosby is innocent. Okay. But personally, you can look at all the payouts that he's paid and all the stories that people have told, the best thing you can tell him to do is shut the fuck up. I think that's the best thing you can tell Bill Cosby. So, and Geraldo. Fuck Geraldo. Anyways, let's see. Tyson Chicken recalled 8.5 million pounds of chicken due to listeria concerns. I thought listeria was a like an offer up for like stupid shit. My brother sells CDs on there, and he uses a profile picture of his old girlfriend, and he ends up attracting a lot of lesbians across the United States and selling to them, and he'll put like a lipstick or a kiss or something like that on them. Just to, again, he doesn't make any money on the CDs. He buys them at garage sales for like 50 cents or a quarter. He makes his money on the shipping. But we all need our hobbies. That's my brother's hobby, is flirting with bull dykes across this great nation. Let's see. Basketball. Basketball seems to be popular right now. Remember that basketball is rigged. Okay, so a couple years ago there was a big thing about the referees shaving points, things like that. And they came out and just said, remember that the NBA is all about entertainment. This is an entertainment. This is not real. And so remember that it's not real. And so all the money that you're sending to basketball and all that bullshit, that's all not real. I'd rather have you, do something else than support sports. Sports are kind of dumb. What's her name? I forgot her name. The runner that got disqualified from the Olympics because she had smoked a doob. What's the point of running fast? It's not like we still hunt on foot. Like, what good does that do you? So what? She's the fastest runner. Like, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. And then they go, well, sponsorships. And I go, again, why would you sponsor somebody that runs fast? Like, what good is running fast? Like, it's whatever. It's dumb. Sports are dumb. Be fit, be healthy. That's fine. I don't give a shit about that. But, sports, especially professional sports, we could spend our money on a lot other things. Like, I don't know, affordable housing, infrastructure, social justice. Fuck, and I even think that's a big waste of money and time. But that's better than sports. Sports doesn't do anything. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, sports are rigged. Sports are as legit as the WWF. That's right, I said WWF. Fuck you and your dumb pandas, World Wildlife Federation. Yes, I said it. Pandas are dumb. No wonder they've been traditionally made into soup for royalty. Yes. Google that. pandas used to be just a delicacy for eating, because they're, it's a bear, but it's, docile, that kind of thing. Rick and Morty is awesome as usual. Let's see. Also, if you're still playing video games, you're a cuck. Yeah, that's short for cuckold, or they call it a simp now. So, but go make some money and help people. That's what's even better. Lastly, I would say pruning may be the key to a larger yield, especially when dealing with blueberries. Well, that's actually true of everything. So if you want a higher yield, what happens is you trim back a lot of the plant, and then the plant thinks it's damaged and then works extra hard in order to make the branches and the leaves that it has left really count, right? And that's actually true of life. You find out that you only have so much time in life and so many resources in life. And one way you can do that is start trimming stupid uses of your time, like video games, like sports. Whether it's participation in sports or watching sports or any of that bullshit. It helps to have a goal in life in general. So like I have a bunch of friends that like their main goal is just to have their house paid off and a retirement so that they can live in that house for the rest of their lives. And I'm like, I got to do other stuff, man. I'm going to go to the moon. There's so much more to life than just having your cars and your house paid for. So your money could be working for you. That was the other thing was one of the things they never really talked about in church, since this is a Sunday sermon, since this is Sunday, and America was founded on white Christianity, right? According to some people. I grew up Mormon, as many of you know, and one of the things that was really infiltrated in the society in the town that I grew up in, which was called Gilbert, Arizona. There's a lot of Mormons in the community, and my third grade teacher, Mrs. Reber, but if you were in her church, her ward, you would call her Sister Reber. That's what Mormons call each other, sister and brother, whatever. And so anyways, it was like the last day of school, and my friend Chris had ended up moving to Saudi Arabia because his dad worked for the oil industry. And Chris sent back a photo of him like in this huge mansion that had a gold elevator, and we weren't even aware of enough to even understand to be jealous. Like it was so foreign to us, that kind of wealth, being there in dopey Gilbert, Arizona. But Mrs. Reber was trying to explain the conflict of Palestinians versus Israelis, and she starts talking about Jews, which in retrospect, of course, was a mistake. But I think she was basically spreading, I don't want to say misinformation, but just like stereotypes. One of the things she talked about was how Jews in their society and their culture, they talk to each other about money, and it's within their religion, which of course is not true, right? Because there's like a zillion poor Jews. Namely, most of the Jews that I know, and also, what was her name on the original 90210? And she like lived with her grandmother, and she was like in her 30s and on the show. I forget. Anyways, that was hilarious, the storyline for 90210. But she was, yeah, and that was the assumption, was that Jews are rich, and she's like, I'm not rich. I'm not one of the rich Jews. So, but I thought it was great to talk about money in church, because most churches do not talk about money. They don't talk about all the donations they get. They talk about opaque. They don't talk about their finances at all. So, which it's a little bit of a conflict of interest, but whatever. It's their church. They can run it any way they want. So, one of the things I've learned from Robert Kiyosaki, and also not Mesa Public Schools, Gilbert Public Schooling. When I was like in 5th grade, they teach you how to balance your checkbook, and then they tell you the power of savings, right? And the compound interest of saving money, right? And basically, their idea that they're teaching you is that you go get a job, right? Or you go to college and you get a good paying job, and then you live within your means, and then whatever money you have left over, which is hilarious. Like for me, I'm like, what the fuck is a savings account? Who uses a fucking savings account? And also, why you do not have the control to just leave extra money in your checking account? Like, what is wrong with you? So, but one of the things that banks do to lure stupid people into saving money and having a savings account is they often offer a higher annual percentage rate yield of interest on that savings. And I was looking at the savings right now. There's actually a lot of banks that are aggressive. The best one I found was Ally, which is an online bank, and they're offering 5% on savings and I think certificates of deposit, which is an even worse scam to consumers. It's basically they're taking advantage of old people on that one, where they're going to pay you 5% to use your money and you can't touch it for whatever it is, 24 months, 36 months, 5 years. And let's say they pay you 5% interest annually. One thing they don't talk about taking into account is inflation. So often inflation is at least 5%, if not more, especially like right now. So you end up loaning, let's say you have a $10,000 CD that you buy from a bank, and they're going to pay you 5% on it. You end up losing money because of inflation. And that money doesn't get used by you, definitely, but it gets used by the bank. And the bank, the bank is even worse. So the bank takes your 10 grand and they're able to borrow 10 times that. So that'd be 100 grand. They're able to borrow 100 grand from the Federal Reserve, and then they loan that out to somebody else and make a bunch of money on it, all because you gave them 10 grand and they paid you shit for it. So what I learned from Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki was that savers are losers. And that sounds a little harsh, but that's exactly what it is. And banks take advantage of you. They are predatory. And it doesn't matter if it's a credit union. Typically a bank is, especially the big three that I hate, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, not only are they predatory, but then they treat you like shit. They're like a really big car audio place. So, and then they figure out other ways to scam you out of your money. But the other one was Tab Bank, which I'm assuming is that was the next best. Tab was online bank, 5%, and they have to purchase at least $1,000 worth of a CD or whatever, certificate of deposit. It's garbage. Don't do that. Again, I'm not telling you what to invest in. I'm just saying there are other opportunities out there, many that you can just create on your own, to yield a better interest rate than fucking 5%. And locking up your money. So even if you do a small thing like, I don't know, I've done it like a zillion times, is you purchase an old receiver from Goodwill for $20, take it home, test it. You got 7 days to test it. And as long as everything works out, then you post it up like you bought it for $20, sell it for $40. You've now doubled your money with little to no effort. And then you've also helped somebody get something that would normally cost about 10 times that in a store plus tax. So you've helped somebody. And then, like, again, if you go and install it for them, then you make even more money. And also you help somebody in the community that normally would have to fucking hire Geek Squad to come out and do the same fucking thing. So that, again, that's a very tiny sample of what you can do. You can flip cars. You can do all kinds of great stuff. One of the keys to flipping cars is never have the title in your name. That way it's never counted against you. A lot of places, a lot of states, a lot of jurisdictions only allow you to flip so many cars per year. So it's never in your name, then you never flipped it. So that's how that works. Some people have criticized me for not following the rules. My advice is make sure that the rules don't apply to you, right? There's a lot of weird laws, or whatever laws. I don't want to call them weird, but there's a lot of different laws in different jurisdictions. It's like, say, Canada. If you don't like the laws in Canada, don't be a Canadian, right? If you don't like, the laws that pertain to, I don't know, employees, don't be an employee, be a contractor, things like that. So I'm not saying don't follow the laws. I'm saying be aware of what the laws and to whom the laws apply to, right? And if you don't want the laws to apply to you, don't do those things. Remember I talked about it's better to control money rather than to own money or own an asset. So, and Robert Kiyosaki talks about this. The best way to make money is to borrow money and then buy an asset. and then turn that asset into other money, like selling it at a profit, or turning it and developing it. And and that could be land, that can be product, that can be all kinds of materials and things like that, making stuff, or even just redistributing stuff. So let's see. Just wanted to talk about money. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. The wife noticed that somebody is here, which I can see on my reversal backup camera that I used for home security. Because I didn't want to pay $30 for a camera. I'm like, I can pay $5 on Wish or AliExpress, and guess what? It works fucking great. So, but that's all I want to talk about today. There's always more that I want to talk about, and feel free to ask me questions, and if it's worthy, I'll make a video. But I love you guys. Have a great Sunday, and be safe. If you can not shoot off fireworks, don't shoot off fireworks. Just be grateful, namaste the shit out of each other. I love you. Bye-bye.